I appreciate you guys coming out. I always like to show data. My background is engineering. I love data. I worked in oil and gas for 20 years, and so I'm pretty much a nerd. I don't have my pencils in my deal right here, but anyway. So since we started these, I've been looking at data in this area, okay? And so I started, and I'm looking by zip code. It may change later, but I started with 77008, which is the Greater Heights, okay? And I looked at data there, and then I compared that with 77009, which is where we're located, and it kind of transitions into, it's the Woodland Heights, Nor Hill, goes into Northside Village across 45. And then today I'm going to compare with 77018, which is just north of 610. Everyone's calling that the New Heights. It's referred to as Independence Heights. And so we're going to continually look at these areas and try to provide some insight. This is just a snapshot. Obviously, we need to dig deeper. But I think it's interesting. So we focus on single family, townhouse, and condo, and then rentals, right? For people wanting to buy, people wanting to invest. So when we look at single family and we compare what I did today, since we're adding another zip code, we're looking at the 3 different zip codes. So 008, 009, and 018. So this is a snapshot of single family. The blue bar graph are all the homes that are actively on the market, and the orange bar graph are the homes that sold. Okay? So in 008, which is Greater Heights, the average active home was 639,000. Okay? But what actually sold on average was just under 630. For 009, which is here in Northside Village, the average active was 504. What sold was 492. Okay? And then for the new zip code, which is 018, Independence Heights, the active right now is 540. Okay? But what's selling there is 532.5. Okay, that's the active. Obviously, there's more, higher and lower than that. What this tells me is that the Heights is obviously the highest, so it's probably reaching its plateau. Okay, the biggest potential is 009, which is here where we're at now, but more in what we consider Northside Village. Okay, that's the area that's really starting to gain a lot of traction with investors and whatnot. 018 is at 540, so it's in between the two. So you've already had, that price point is already in between the Heights and Northside Village. Okay, so you're already seeing people come into that area, and the price point is higher in that area. So the biggest potential that we see right now is in 009, which is Northside Village, and trickling into this area. When we look at townhomes and condos, the highest is in the Heights, then here in 009, and then 018. Okay, the lowest in condos and townhomes is 018. That tells me that there's a lot of townhomes and condos in the Heights, right? You drive to the Heights, all you see is all these condos, 3-story units, and the data shows it, right? You go to Northside Village, there's almost none. Independence Heights, you barely see 1 or 2 here and there. So the data shows it. But then when you look at rentals, your rental over on the top right, compared to the 3 zip codes, 008 is just under 2,200. 009 is 1,900 more or less, but 018 is the highest. So that tells me that the people that are investing and buying in Independence Heights are getting the most for their money right now in rentals, right? Because they're putting the rent as high as they can on average in that area. The kicker up there is the area, right? So you got to figure out, okay, do I want to be in that area? as a consumer, as yourself, would you live there? I probably wouldn't. But an investor that buys it, flips it, and leases that area, they're getting the most for their money up there. So as an investor, that's gonna be the area that you're gonna get the most return on your lease, on your rental, if you decide to lease the property. Even though it's in the middle of the two different areas.
Why are you willing to live there?
I wouldn't live there.
But why?
Because it's a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a long-term investment. What a lot of investors are doing is they're buying up there and they're holding that property.
Is that Yale and Garden Oaks?
It's just
and
north,
that
no,
way?
it's just
Shepherd?
not Garden Oaks, it's over on this side.
To the right, yeah. Acres Homes and all that, right?
Just south of Acres Home.
Yeah.
So I have several clients that are looking to invest and they're looking in that area. The one question I tell them is, are you gonna live in that house or are you gonna buy it and sit on it? If you're gonna live in that house with your young family and your young kids, that's not the area you wanna be in. If you're gonna buy the house, you're gonna sit on it, maybe, or you're gonna lease it, then look at the lease rate.
Yeah, make your money.
Lease it, let somebody else deal with that and live in it. So, anyway, we're gonna continue this study, as we go, we're gonna add more zip codes and whatnot, we'll see how we continue to do it, but, if you have any questions about this, let me know. If your clients have any questions about this, send them my way. We'd like to data. So, any questions on this?